Hey guys, it's Ob Caldy back here again with another one of my Walking Dead Season 4 recap and reviews. Anyway, uh, last episode, live bait, we got to see where the governor was after the massacre of the Woodbury army, and where he's been since then. And this week we're going to be on episode number 7, Dead Weight. So there are spoilers in this review. Oh, dang, I forgot to put a spoiler alert in um, episode 6, but people should know that by now. Um, anyway, there are spoilers in this video, so please click away to one of my other videos or reviews. Um, but anyway, let's get down to business. Started on this review, and I'll be back. Okay, so anyway, I'm starting off in this episode. We see um, uh, we see Philip with Megan. We start with a game chest of Philip and Megan, and then we have the Martinez scene from the end of last episode. Basically, we have in the intro, we have that, and um, then we have but basically Martinez and sorry about that. Sorry about being silent. Basically Martinez is amazed that the governor is still alive, and uh, two of Martinez's men, he's become a leader at this new camp. Two of his men named Mitch and Pete, which are brothers, by the way. We have that scene, and basically we have reintroduction, and Martinez says he knows him, and Martinez learns about him being called Brian, and basically that it's a reintroduction. Since they last saw each other, he left him. He didn't leave him on particularly good terms, and basically Martinez lets him join the camp, which is a really idiotic move for Martinez. Because of that, and then that Martinez says there's two conditions for him to join in the camp. That Martinez is in charge, and there can't be any dead weight. So they go back to Martinez's camp, and then we have the chess game happening with Megan. Really serious governor scene. So after that scene, which is really cool, really interesting thing for The Walking Dead to do with that whole intro. They've been doing a lot of experimentation with the structure of the series this season, and this is one of those things that is really great about the whole uh, style format of how an episode runs. But as we have that montage at the beginning, we now have um, the supply run. Governor basically goes on a supply run with Martinez, Mitch, and Pete. Basically, while they're walking down in the woods, Mitch is picking on the governor, calling him One-Eye Bry, and then basically they find a corpse. They're going to investigate a survivalist type guy. From the preview, you can tell that. And then we find that headless dude with liar nailed, like a liar sign. As we come to the property, like the property where we're going to find supplies at the cabin, it's going to be cabin in the woods. Just reference that. We have another one tied to a chair. We find another headless corpse tied to a chair, and it says rapist. And it's someone playing games. Someone's playing Seven with everyone. I've never seen that movie, but I know it has to do with heads. And then coming to the front door, apparently it's a self-inflicted gunshot wound, and the guy says murderer, and I'm pretty sure that was the guy on this cabin. These things, I think they're kind of signs to Philip, maybe something, maybe something that tells him about himself, maybe a reminder of what he is. And then we have they explore this walker. Basically, Philip observes the family. He sees the family. Well, as they investigate this house, I was literally scared when the walkers jumped out at Pete and Martinez, and both of them nearly die. But then the governor uh, basically destroys the walkers, which were the family of that guy. And there was a little Easter egg in there of the heads that are chopped off. They're like he was keeping walker heads. It's sort of like the governor's tank from season 3, or water tank. No, I'm not talking about that. The tank that appears in the episode, Mitch's tank. I'll get to that later. Well, here in a minute actually. Basically, they find some supplies and basically they talk about their lives before the apocalypse. Philip dodges the before the apocalypse, and he says that he survived and everything like that. Basically, and then Mitch and Pete talk about their past, and Mitch sure was a ice cream guy before the ice cream man before the apocalypse. Yeah, real winner. And served in the army to become a tank operator. Basically left his tank, took his tank with him, and took his brother Pete from Fort Benning. They served at Fort Benning, which is a little Easter egg to where they were headed before Rick and the group got held up at the farm in season 2. Basically. Okay, sorry, I was messing with my mouse. But anyway, we have that whole backstory stuff. Lily, to pull help around the camp, puts a nurse. So I forgot to say that last episode. Forgot about Lily. But she has a makeshift nurse station to help out with around the camp. And then we have Alicia, who is one of the, like Army Reserve, and then Tara, who's Tara takes interest in her, and basically, yeah, you know what I mean there. And then Martinez. Basically, they get drunk. Well, all the adults do. They get drunk. Some of them, they all get drunk later after the supply run. And then Martinez knocks on the governor's door, clearly drunk, and then they talk about Schrumpert. They go to practice golf swings or whatever. Martinez is the one hitting the balls now, and Philip is the baggy, or what the heck, whatever, is holding the golf clubs for him now. Basically, Martinez tells him about Schrumpert, that Schrumpert got reckless and got bitten, and then Martinez shot him. So wrap up to the Schrumpert character, who was never that big of a player. He was one of those. He was actually pretty. He was a big redshirt named freshman story. Personally, I don't know. They should have had a bigger fight at the prison, or maybe he could have took the place of Bruce Cooper from the comics, or Bruce Allen Cooper, or whatever his name is. And basically, Martinez starts talking about everything going on, and then something unfortunate happens. Martinez offers Philip a part-time leader position, and then to split the power between with Philip. And then Philip, or Philip, aka the governor, repeatedly hits, smack, whacks Martinez out of nowhere. I knew he was gonna die this episode, but well, I already spoiled it. But anyway, this is a recap. Basically, he hits him with a golf club and kicks him off, picks him up, drags him angrily, and like he's angry, screaming, "I don't want it." He's like mad. He lowers Martinez into the pits. They're like literally 5 yards, 5-10 yards away, and then he drags him over to the pits. And then Martinez he lowers Martinez, and they devour Martinez alive. And the governor's screaming, "I don't want it." He's taking power, but he doesn't want the power. It's like this. He's psychotic. We are seeing him. He's still that psycho he was. You can already tell that he's the same psycho, but now he has a reason to live. He has a reason to be psychotic, but not kill Martinez. Martinez had good development this episode in those first two scenes we saw him, but that was really quite shocking, as I thought he may be around still for the assault on the prison, but I don't know. Governor, I guess he wants to take the people out in power. Well, anyway, the two Martinez's two big men tell him, the brothers tell him about Martinez, how they died. Basically, we have that. Philip is all crazy about the killing Martinez. He feels wrong about that. And it feels wrong about how he killed him, how things went down. And basically, Mitch and Pete, they come up with the story that he must have gotten drunk and fallen into the pit. And then Pete becomes leader. Basically, he elects himself leader. And Pete, Mitch, and Philip go on another supply run. They find a camp. And this is where things start to take a bad turn for Pete, who is the good guy. He's one of the good guys. He's the good guy that wants to make choices. He wants to take responsibility. Basically, they find a camp, and then let's see. They come across the camp, but Pete doesn't want to attack, but Mitch wants to attack it for supplies. Well, anyway, a couple hours later, they go hunting, go out into the woods to hunt. And then later, they come back and find the camp in ruins. Mitch gets angry, and all the people are dead. Pete feels something's wrong, and Mitch just takes out a dude who could have lived, and then Pete's angry at him. Well, the next night, basically, they come up. The governor wants to leave the camp with his new family, which now includes Alicia. So he takes Lily, Megan, Tara, and Alicia, and sets out on the night. And basically, because of Pete and Mitch's not taking supplies when they had the chance, and basically they get out, and then we see the mud pit full of walkers. Stuck in mud, walkers stuck in mud. Cats walking by, running through the house. Okay, if you hear noises in the background, they're my cats. Since no one else is home right now, I mean, no one's home right now. Basically that happens. The next day, Philip goes to Pete, and this goes to Pete wanting to talk about Mitch's actions the previous day. Then, this shocking scene. I did not see this coming, but I probably should have, because once you turn your back to the governor, And anyway, the governor stabs Pete and stabs Pete multiple times, then strangles him. Oh my gosh, the governor killing all the good guy leaders. I guess he killed Pete because he doesn't want another Rick. He doesn't want another Rick. And then, basically, after this, Pete, the governor goes to his brother Mitch and has a gun and tells Mitch that he's going to be second in command. He just says he killed Pete. He says he killed his brother and tells him that Mitch will be second in command and they take supplies and everything. And basically he agrees to all this, even though he killed his brother. So Mitch is a pretty lousy dude. I'd hate to have him as a brother. No, none of that brother stuff. Oh, I remember the governor. The governor saying something about talking about his brother in this episode. Possibly hinting at that he could be Brian Blake. Maybe that brother's Philip Blake. That could be a possibility. I'm just saying because that's novel series canon and comic series canon. So I'm just gonna say something, not anything about that. Sorry about my coughing. I was sick earlier this week. But I don't see how Mitch goes along with it, and he says he despises people being heroes because Philip or Brian, whichever, smoked cigarettes earlier, and he basically offered cigarettes to Mitch, because that whole thing went down. And basically he says that he hates heroes because his brother got only broken ribs and whatever, and was bruised his reputation or whatever. And then Philip got not punished. Sounds like Philip's always been a pretty non-social dude, pretty antisocial, and it's always been like that. So, basically that whole thing. Well, anyway, later they make supplies, and basically Philip takes over, organizes everything around, and they put up fences around the camp. And Tara is, of course, Ammo Logger. She's pretty annoying, I'd have to say. Her introduction was pretty annoying last episode. I forgot to talk about that. Bluey and Governor have a fight where Bluey thinks it's safe enough here at that camp in the woods where it's really not safe. But uh, then Megan and Tara have a game of tag, and Megan runs and uncovers a sheet, and then sees a walker. A walker chases her around. There's a pretty gruesome scene where Tara tries to pull off a leg of a walker, and the leg's flesh gets everywhere. and then basically and then she runs away under a bus. She doesn't run away. She runs under a trailer, one of the trailers. And then Philip comes over and shoots it in the head. So anyway, the next scenes we get a Philip going over to the lake. That earlier scene, Mitch and the governor poured Pete's body in the lake, and they didn't shoot him in the head. Basically, they uncovered it and say he died a hero on a supply run. That's what they were gonna say. And basically, that's the whole idea there. Then the governor goes over and looks down in the lake, and it's zombie, and it's Walker Pete, Zombie Pete. um, Zombie Pete. And it's a bigger version of the Walker television, the head television, the fish tank Walker head television, and basically sees that whole thing do, and uh, that's a pretty awesome scene if I do say so myself. And we see that the governor is unchanged this episode. We see that he is now has something to live for, to be psychotic for. So and basically the governor wants to go take the prison, as we heard him referring to it, and basically the governor drives off. At the end of internment, we see where he is, staring at Rick and Carl, picking the beans and going down in the fence and everything. And then we see, unfortunate, we see Philip looking away and sees Herschel and Michonne burning dead bodies from the last episode. And Michonne is angry, or Philip is angry at Michonne, seeing those memories of her, and then aims his gun at the two. Bum bum bum! And that's the end of the episode. Um, so anyway, this was a good episode. I'm gonna say this is a good episode. I wouldn't classify it as great. We really got this. I say it's good, in something where in between good and great. I would say about 7.8 out of 10. But we really get to see how the governors come along as he gets reintroduced to this world. Martinez, who has blackmail on him, who continuously talks about the past. Basically, the governor had to kill Martinez for this to work. And basically, he had to kill Martinez for this whole plan to work out. You see that he was never changed, that he was just inspecting his life, but now he has something to live for again. After he losing Penny, his wife, Woodbury, all that, and now he's gonna take on the prison. We get the promo at the end, and I'm like, holy crap! Oh my gosh! At the end, when the governor sees the prison and then he sees Herschel and Michonne. The governor has amazed, well, not the governor, but The Walking Dead has amazed me this season. When the governor popped up at the end of episode 5, I think we were all crapping our pants. After the end of episode 5. We knew he was going to show up, and we didn't know he was going to show up then. When I saw Rick, I was expecting it to happen at the end of episode 5. Most likely. Well, I did have a spoiler. I think that said that he was gonna appear at the end. But this is a good episode. I'd probably say 7.8 out of 10. It's not good. It's not great. It's somewhere in the middle. It's good. I think I'd classify 7.8 as good. The whole way we saw the governor transform back into this monster who kills the heroes, taking power over people that are not so smart, not so intelligent, aka Mitch. Mitch. There's a reason they named you Mitch, and you were ice cream ice cream man before the apocalypse. But we got to see that tank, that awesome tank too. Yeah, the awesome tank that everyone freaked out about once we saw. We were like, I knew this was coming. I told my one friend, who I talk about Walking Dead to a lot, that we were going to get a tank, and they were going to come into the prison, and the governor was going to say, kill them all. And I can't say if those predictions are true, because that's another video, but good episode. We got to see the governor. We see he's not really changed at all. I'm getting really repetitive here. But we see that his psyche is that he is a different person maybe inside, but outside physiological output is basically that he kills Martinez, he kills to survive, which is like what a lot of people are like in this world. Um, they're not like Rick, Herschel, Michonne, the rest of the group that survive with morals. Well, I'd say some of the group survive with morals, but you know what I mean. You understand what I mean. Um, they do it to survive in to survive in a good life, not modern society or anything like that. Just picking basic human instructions or whatever, like moral codes. Um, but and then the governor killing Pete, it was because he saw that Pete was a good leader, like gonna be a good guy leader like Rick, and basically reminded him of Rick, and that's what the governor would get if Rick was in the same room with him. Well, except on the arrow in the doorpost, the governor realized that if he killed him, that would not be a smart choice in that meeting in episode whatever it was, arrow on the doorpost, critically panned episode of The Walking Dead last season. I mean, but I should be wrapping up this review. But oh yeah, forget talking about Pete. But Pete, the walk-in, the cool, new Walker tank, Walker Lake. I wonder if anyone went swimming in that lake and then they get bit in the butt. And I'm like, it's when they go swimming by Pete. It would be that'd be awesome. But the governor, he, it's just an upgraded version of the Walker television. More awesome than Walker television, I would say. It was a big reveal for the TV fans, but for us comic fans, it wasn't as big as of a reveal. But this is really more interesting, in my opinion, than that television because he's putting people in a lake and like putting anchors on their cement bricks or anchors on the bottom of their legs and then put him in there. He's only did this to Pete, so be glad, Pete. Be glad for other people. Um, I was shocked at the governor returning. So the governor's official return wasn't as good, but this episode was much better in my opinion. Much better. Um, I would say 7.8 out of 10. A great episode all around. We get to see the transformation of the governor from that guy that was reevaluating his life in episode 6 to this reformed governor who is acting like the governor. He transitioned and he has something to work for this time in Megan and Lily and Tara, but I don't think he cares as much for Tara. But well, I think he does, but he doesn't. I don't know. It's thingy. It's like um the family, his family connection or whatever. Um, but anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Remember to comment, rate, and subscribe below. Follow me on Twitter and like my channel Facebook page. This has been Alcaldi for now, and I'll see you guys next time.